Dear students and dear watchers, today we are going to talk about term paper. What is a term paper? The basic definition of a term paper is a term paper is a type of research-based writing assignment that a student has to submit to his or her teacher at the end of an academic term. The topic could be an event description, a case study, a concept, or an argument. Basically, a term paper is a type of research-based writing assignment that is completed by a student at the end of a semester or an academic year. That is a type of an assignment completed by the student and assigned by the teacher. The limit in the average term paper is about several pages in length. What is the length of a term paper? There is several pages. There is no fixed length, and often the corresponding teacher has the authority to impose structure and length for writing. There is no specific length for writing a term paper. That depends on the teacher, the authoritative teacher, to assign the task to the student, whether to write 5 pages, 6 pages, or 10 pages. That depends on the teacher. There is no specification for writing a term paper. Fine. In such a case, a student must adhere to the teacher's instruction. They depend on the teacher, whether the teacher wants you to write 3 pages, whether he wants you to write 5 pages, whether he wants you to write 10 pages. That depends on the respective teacher of the subject. Fine. What are the basics of writing a term paper? What are the parts of a term paper? What are going to be included in the term paper? What are the steps to be taken while writing a term paper? A term paper has a fixed format, but it differs from course to course. It has a fixed format, but that also depends on the course, whether this is the art subject, this is a computer science, there is a mathematics, there is the humanities or arts, anything like that. That depend on the subject, whether the subject will have so many pages. That will depend on the subject. For example, a computer science course will have a different format of writing when compared to an architecture course. A computer will have its own format, and English will have its own format, mathematics will have its own format, a chemistry or physics, etc. All these subjects will have their own format, and that will go according to that. You must ask your teacher about how to outline a paper. He or she can guide you the best. They depend on the subject teacher. The subject teacher will guide the student according to the subject criteria. What will be the criteria of the subject? Student will be guided according to the subject. Content, what to include? The table of content. There is the essential and the integral part of writing a term paper or any paper, but you must mention all the things in the table of content that what are going to be included in this term paper. The next one is title page. A separate page with paper title, student's name, course title, teacher's name, and submission date. That is the title page, the very first page of the term paper. That is the cover page. The student name is mentioned, the topic is mentioned, the title, the teacher's name is mentioned, the course name is mentioned, and also the date of submission and the date of the name of the institute is also mentioned over there on the title page. Fine. Acknowledgement. Include your inspiration for the subject and other relevant introduction. Acknowledgement, there is the inspiration for the subject and other relevant introduction. This is all about thank God that I wrote this term paper, and I am thankful to this person, and I am thankful to this person, and because of all these things could be mentioned in the acknowledgement. Abstract. A brief overview or summary of the paper. Abstract is all about the topic, the methodology, the analysis, and the results. The summary of the paper. Abstract is always written at the end of the paper. It shall be on the first page, but it is written after the paper is completed, because in the abstract one has to mention the topic, the methodology, and also the findings of the paper. Fine. Literature review. Mention and briefly discuss previous related research works and studies that help you in constructing your approach and methodology. Literature review means the already existed research in that area in which a student is going to conduct his research or write a term paper. The already existed research knowledge about the topic. Fine. In literature review, the student has to write the methodology, the approach, and the findings of the previous researcher and mention in his own review and find the research gap offered there. There is the literature review. Methodology, a detailed description explaining your research methods and experimental approaches, if any, step by step. Methodology means the method which is followed by the researcher, by the student while writing the term paper. There is the methodology. Fine. After the methodology, we come to the conclude your finding from your research and show measurable result, figures and mathematical analysis. Result mean the data which has been collected by the student while writing the term paper, and that data has been analyzed, while qualitative analysis or quantitative analysis are all the things. Fine. The data will be analyzed and the topic will be concluded over here. Okay, the analysis and the conclusion shall both be over here in a term paper. Future recommendation. Suggest ideas that one can work on in the future. Okay, fine. You have completed your term paper. You have found a solution for the problem. But you recommend to the future researcher that I have concluded my research. But the future researcher can go and find out those things which you recommend in your term paper. Reference list. Analyze all your resource materials in a particular order, alphabetical. Okay, they shall be put in alphabetical order. Alphabetical order mean the names of the books or the journals or the research that start with the A, they shall be put in the first category, then the B second, C like that. That is the alphabetical order. All the books, all the research, all the magazines which has helped the researchers, the researcher has taken help from, all those things shall be written in alphabetical order at the end of a term paper. That is called bibliography or references list. Thank you for watching us. Stay with us for the next lecture